My name is Joe Vandenberg, and this is an e-learning training video. E-learning is the use of electronic technologies to create learning experiences. Some examples of e-learning are online courses, games and simulations, mobile learning using smartphones or tablets, and social learning using social networking sites. Maybe examples of that would be Facebook, Twitter, and other social networks. E-learning is a great way to communicate, collaborate, and interact with others. Some ways that this can be done are through weekly assignments, using programs such as Blackboard Collaborate, discussion boards where you are able to post your initial discussion, other students can reply to you, you reply back to them, and then you have a discussion about the topic for that week. Games are a great way to interact with others, especially students, where they can take what they know about content or information, apply it to a game, and then interact with other students in that game as well. They can also communicate and collaborate with other students during this time, where they are maybe working together with a partner or small group. Another example of communicating, collaborating, interacting is video conferencing with other students or the instructor. Some instructional design models to consider when designing e-learning are, first of all, e-learning design, which is what does the user have to be successful in, or what does the user have to do to be successful. So when you're thinking about what you're planning for your e-learning class or e-learning project, what does that learner have to do to be successful in that program? You also need to think about the instructional design, which is laying out exactly how the user will complete each part of the learning. This needs to be done, first of all, almost working backwards, thinking about what are your overall intentions for the class, and what do you expect students to walk out of your class or e-learning project with, and then how are they going to accomplish that? Is that going to be weekly? Is it going to be through assignments, through discussions, through projects? And then what do they exactly need to do within each of those? Some technology to enhance the learning is going to come through what I think are three different activities. You have absorb activities, which are used to help the learners acquire new knowledge. Some great examples of this are videos and podcasts. You have do activities, which are when the learner demonstrates their understanding through an activity. Examples of this would be games, projects, online tests, quizzes, and surveys. And finally, you have connect activities, which really allow the learner to use what they know and put it into their everyday life. These are real-life, authentic simulations or scenarios. When using media in your e-learning, make sure to use short videos. You do not want to use a video that is going to distract the learner or cause them to really not pay attention. If you use full-length videos, a lot of times the learners aren't quite sure where to start or what they really should be listening for at certain parts. So instead, I suggest using short videos that are quick and to the point and really get your content across. It's also helpful to use pictures and images when using text. This keeps the reader interested or the learner interested, allows them to see examples of what their content is about. And finally, make sure that if you're using copyrighted material, that you have permission to be using that. When thinking about management of an e-learning class, establish expectations right away. You do not want to get halfway into an e-learning experience and come across a problem because you didn't establish your expectations up front. Run this just as you would a normal classroom, a traditional brick and mortar classroom, and get those expectations out there right away. Have consistency. If you tell one student an example of how to complete something, share that example with everybody. Make sure that you are being consistent from student to student, class to class, e-learning activity to e-learning activity. And then finally, make the learning purposeful or meaningful. The worst thing you can do is just throw out busy work or just daily work that really doesn't have a meaning to it. Make sure that what you're putting out there for the students has a purpose, has a meaning, and fits the content which you're addressing. When leading a virtual classroom, interact with your students or the learners. Make sure that your name is out there as well. Make sure that you are having conversations with the students, whether it's through video conferencing or discussion boards, and posting messages to let the students or learners know that you're out there and you're willing to help them as well. Make the learning authentic. That's one of the best ways that you can get students or learners to buy in and really believe what's going on because they see how they can use it in their own life. And finally, lead by example. What I mean by this is if you post that you're going to have grades, in the grade book and for students to see them by Tuesday at 12 o'clock, have that done. Because if you can't lead by example, if you can't meet that expectation, then students are going to have a hard time meeting that expectation as well. If you have any questions on what I presented today, check out the references page. All the images from Google, a great article by Horton called E-Learning Design, and then finally the Reiser and Dempsey textbook, Trends and Issues in Instructional Design and Technology. Thank you.